This is the town that I grew up in, Gainesboro, Tennessee, Jackson County. Tucked into these hills, Gainesboro is a place all its own. Here's me with one of my daughters and my mother. Anybody who knows Miss Catherine, as they call my mama around here, knows that she has a lot of energy. She does a lot of stuff with the Jackson County Historical Society, and they're a pretty active bunch. So for a while now, we've had this little Poke Sallet Festival in the spring.
We're so proud of Gainesboro and proud to have people here, and we hope that they'll come back. And my dad was mayor here for many years. There's an old politician here. We're an old family name, and we love it, and we hope everybody else gets to know it and love it like we do.
Keep on sunny side, on sunny side. Keep on sunny side of love. It will help us every day. It will brighten all the way. If we keep on sunny side of love. If we keep on sunny side of love.
You might be wondering what Poke Sallet is.
It's just a wild green plant.
And here we have the Poke Sallet cooking and eating contest.
This is pure, unadulterated, honest to goodness poke salad, but do taste it. Tastes like poke salad, didn't it? Honey, you got that poke salad look upon your face. Oh, I think you don't like poke salad. Do you don't like it? The berries, we stomp on them and make poke salad wine.
The berries themselves are poisonous.
Oh, well, we just give that wine to folks we don't like.
People have booths. Somebody brings mule teams to town. The kids bring in pets for the annual terrapin race. And as usual, they get a little off the schedule. Anyway, whenever you get these folks together, it's an excuse to have a good time. This is a repeat performance of the Ghost Walk that is usually done on Halloween.
My name is Orion Clemens. I was born in Gainesboro in the heat of July 1825. My mother named me Orion, a name out of the Bible representing the stars of Orion. We moved from Gainesboro to Fentress County in 1827. My father was always looking for new opportunities, so we moved to Missouri. That's where my younger brother Samuel Clemens was born. You might know him better as Mark Twain. One of the strongest issues of my life was supporting the Union during the Civil War. I was practically ran out of Gainesboro when I returned here on my way to Nashville. No one understood my support for Mr. Lincoln, not even my brother Sam.
Good evening. I'm Aunt Polly Williams. I was born in 1839. I died in 1919. I was buried across the Cumberland River on a hillside, which once was my property. My father, Jim Locke, operated a fairboat across the Cumberland. And at age 10, he taught me how to run that fairboat. So that gave me the nickname of Tugboat Annie of the Cumberland. My first husband was Jim Eaton, whose parents are buried down here just off the square. And one morning he got up and said, "Polly, I dreamed last night I drowned in the Caney Fork River." I jokingly said, "Jim, you're a good swimmer. If you do, I'm not going to come look for you." But about 2 weeks later, he had to go out of town and had to cross the Caney Fork. His horse got in deep water and he drowned. They searched for his body and it couldn't be found till I went over and took one of his dirty shirts and threw in the water. And where that shirt floated to, there they found his body. One of my son-in-laws, Wash Hampton, said, "Polly, if you ever get so you can't talk, you'll die." And that's how that happened. I had a stroke which paralyzed my throat, and a few days later I was dead.
Then there's also Cordell Hull, a local lawyer and judge who became quite a hero around here working for Roosevelt in the 30s.
Well, hello. I understand you met my old friend up on top of the hill, Aunt Polly. Did I ever tell you about the time that I made Aunt Polly really angry with me? It seems that I did not dismiss court in a timely manner when I heard her ring that dinner bell. Well, I heard her yell throughout this courthouse square, and yes, even in the courthouse. Court or no court, Cordell Hull or no Cordell Hull, if you don't get up here and eat my food when it's hot, you don't eat it all. Well, I guess you know what I did each and every time I heard that dinner bell ring. Court dismissed.
People stop into the museum on festival days. At the museum, you might see the replica of Fort Blunt, a military post from the 1790s that was recently excavated. Sam Smith from the Tennessee Archaeological Division headed up that project working with the Army Corps of Engineers.
To me, this was a very fulfilling sort of project to have been involved in, again, because we recognized early on that finding the location of this thing would be an important clue in terms of understanding the very early history of what's now Middle Tennessee. And we knew from the historical records that the site of Fort Blunt was somewhere in the vicinity of what was called the crossing of the Cumberland in the 1790s. This was a place where the one road that existed at that time connecting the East Tennessee and Middle Tennessee settlements, it was a place where that road crossed the Cumberland River.
Probably the most important single clue they found involving that location was a map that had been filed in the Sumner County records.
Just as a landmark feature on this map, they put a little square on the west bank or north bank of the, depending on how you look at the course of the river, on this side of the river, a little square, and it was labeled F. Blunt, standing for Fort Blunt. We only found clear evidence for 3 buildings. One of these buildings is represented by a cellar foundation about 21 to 22 feet square. We're fairly sure that was a blockhouse type building, that it was a 2-story blockhouse with an overhanging second story. We also found clear evidence for a small building, and we found the remains of a chimney, which suggests at least one other small building that probably served as a kitchen. Beyond those 3 buildings, there was an area to the north where there were remnants of cooking pits. We suspect this was a general encampment area where some of the soldiers probably stayed and where some of the travelers coming through probably had temporary quarters. The initial settlement of Middle Tennessee was a period of great hostility between the settlers and the Native Americans who, from their perspective, were trying to protect the lands that had always been theirs. From the settlers' perspective, they needed a system of defense, and that defensive system was based on the use of militia soldiers. These were common everyday people who for a period of time served in this defensive role.
Some of the artifacts that they found were pottery, military buttons, and musket balls. They even found a Cherokee smoking pipe.
One of the oddities here is that at almost the same time that this place was established, that level of hostility with the Cherokee was already going down. This level of hostility was down at such a low point that it was safe to travel the road between Knoxville and Nashville. At the same time, this nucleus of what was to become the town had established a tavern here by 1796, and probably most of the travelers from that point on were staying in or around this tavern as opposed to the fort itself.
There's some talk right now about reconstructing the fort and a river barge so that people can come and see it the way it used to be, and I think that'd be good if it happened. So anyway, this is the town of Gainesboro, Tennessee. It's a great place to grow up in. So come on over for a visit. You might just want to stay.